A proposed Dollar General is causing some concern for some Athens residents. Coming up, Jared Klein tells us how the town is responding.
Plus, this came on Facebook you should know about. WMLT News first show of the semester starts right now. Hello and welcome to WMLT News. I'm Rachel Dotson.
And I'm Chad Brown. A former Concord University policeman pleaded guilty to sexually abusing a minor. Former police officer Randy Cordell was arrested in 2012 for 5 charges of sexual abuse. Cordell was under agreement that if he were to plead guilty to one of the sexual abuse charges, that the others would be dropped. Cordell has not been sentenced yet, but could be looking at serving up to 20 years in prison. The abuse was said to be off campus, and Cordell hasn't been employed at Concord since his arrest.
The Fayette County Sheriff's Office reports that a Facebook scam is circulating in the area. The scam comes in the form of messages users receive from their friends. These messages claims that the sender won a sizable amount of money and that they saw the receiver's name in the list of winners as well. Below this message is a link to a website where the receiver can view their winnings. The receiver is then asked to verify their prize by providing their full name, address, age, and telephone number. No further sensitive information would be required, but the website would ask the receiver to send a processing fee in relation to the size of their cash prize. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office assures that this is a fraud and that the Facebook users who receive this message should not respond to it. The police also added that no legitimate contest or sweepstakes would ask for a processing fee or any banking information. Those that feel like they are a potential victim of this scam is encouraged to contact the local police department.
A vote on Tuesday could bring Athens its first new business in 20 years, but some are not so thrilled. WMLT's Jared Klein has more on this controversial topic.
A small town of barely over 1,000 residents, Athens has not seen a new business in nearly 2 decades. A proposal to the Athens Town Council seeks to give Dollar General permission to build a store in the town. Mayor Carol Bart says that the goal of the new store is to provide new opportunities to the town. Indeed, Athens is a college town with only a CVS, pizza shop, and convenience station. But some are concerned how their own personal well-being will be affected by the store. Scott Martin lives next to the planned site for the store, and he wants to be clear that he is not against the store itself. Martin has contacted the company with little success. The store did offer to build a fence, but Martin does not believe this will be enough. Mayor Bart says that while the town is willing to work with Martin, they must also consider the store's flexibility. But above all, Mayor Bard is most concerned about the student population of Athens. An open meeting discussing the issue will be held on Tuesday, February 18th at 7 p.m. For WMLT News, I'm Jared Klein in Athens.
Last week, a resident McDowell County citizen received 2 DUIs within the same hour. On Friday, February the 8th, the McDowell County Sheriff's Department arrested Harry Glenn Purdue of 59 after the man was pulled over in Welch. After the investigation, the officer R.R. Freeman declared him to be driving intoxicated. Also, upon further investigation, a stash of marijuana was found in the vehicle. Shortly after, being arrested, Perdue paid his bond of $500 but was caught driving within 40 minutes by the department and yet again received a DUI for his crime, and now he remains in a McDowell County holding unit with a bond at $1,500.
A coal slurry spill occurred Tuesday morning in Winifred, West Virginia. The spill is a result of a ruptured slurry line near the Canal Eagle prep plant in Winifred. The spill, which is estimated to have happened between midnight and 5:30 a.m. Tuesday, sent an unknown volume of slurry into the Fields Creek. Contamination measures are being taken as company officials say the plant uses the same chemicals which leaked into the Elk River a month ago by Freedom Industries, contaminating the drinking water of over 300,000 people. Governor Earl Ray Tomblin has dispatched the same containment team that was deployed to deal with the January 9th chemical spill. Stay tuned. We'll have more WMLT news in just a moment.
Welcome back. A former Mingo County magistrate is in jail for allegedly attempting to sell drugs while awaiting sentencing for a federal criminal offense. According to a U.S. attorney, Booth Goodwin Dallas Toller was arrested Monday for allegedly selling cocaine. Toller originally pleaded guilty to obtaining a false voter's registration application in December. Attorney Goodwin's motion says Toller took over $800 from an informant who promised to share drug profits. Toller is scheduled to be sentenced for the previous offense in March.
A former NBA star's charity helped save the lives of 3 infant triplets in a small town in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The doctors in the small village where the babies were originally born was not equipped to care for these tiny patients, but the father, hearing of the new state-of-the-art hospital built just up the road by Dikembe Mutombo, was not willing to give up the lives of his children so easily. When the couple arrived at the hospital with the 3 infants and no health care, the father begged the hospital to call the former NBA star, who was quoted as saying, quote, "Please, make them live," end quote. However, Mr. Mutombo's charity doesn't end there. After the lives of the babies had been saved, the father of the triplets was offered a sanitation job at the hospital. Mutombo credits his charity to his mother, who he says taught him the importance of helping others. Former child star Shirley Temple Black died late Monday night. She began acting at the age of 3 and became a big box office hit before hitting the age of 10. Temple Black also spent several years of her later life as a diplomat. She served in the U.S. delegation from the United Nations from 1974 to 1976 and the U.S. ambassador to Czechoslovakia. In her career as a child actress, Temple Black captured the hearts of millions and received 2 Life Achievement Awards for her performing career. Shirley Temple Black was 85 and leaves behind a legacy much more far-reaching than her silver screen career.
While many people felt Super Bowl 48 was no thrill to watch, they say the halftime show was one for the books. Bruno Mars opened the concert with a drum solo that led into his hit song, Locked Out of Heaven. After 2 more songs, there was a special appearance by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who performed their song, Give It Away. Next, there was a tribute to the troops who were serving overseas. Finally, Bruno Mars performed one of his most popular songs, Just the Way You Are. The show ended with a fireworks display that greatly impressed the audience. Now with your CU Minute, here's Daryl Johnson.
At the 36th Annual Groundhog Day breakfast, Dr. Kendra Boggs delivered some bad news for those of us who are getting sick of the weather. Looks like there's going to be a little bit more bad weather. Yes, the groundhog saw his shadow, and that means 6 more weeks of winter. President's Day is just about here. While we celebrate the annual holiday and some of us luckier ones get off, the Presidential Search Committee at Concord University has officially launched the search for the university's 12th president. The search started with the President's Search web page that will soon be available on Concord's website to assist candidates in learning about Concord and the job opportunity. The search committee will accept applications and nominations from those who qualify. And now for you, back over at the desk.
West Virginia is one of several states to receive federal funding for its lowest achieving schools. U.S. Secretary of Education Arne Duncan announced that many states will receive over $38 million in funding to turn the schools around. West Virginia alone is estimated to receive over $3 million in grants. That money will be given to state educational agencies and then distributed to schools on a need-to-have basis. Schools from other states that have received funding this way have shown much improvement in their programs. Now with Ticket or Leave It, here's Jesse Stevens.
Thanks, guys. Earlier this winter, The Desolation of Smaug, the second installment in the Hobbit film series, roared into theaters to a tremendous first-week turnout, earning almost $140 million in revenue. It is now making its way out of theaters, and the question is it worth the purchase? The Desolation of Smaug picks back up from where an unexpected journey left off, as Bilbo Baggins and the company of 13 dwarves find themselves in the shadow of the dwarves' home mountain, which is now the lair of the fearsome dragon Smaug. Overall, the acting is solid, with capable performances from Martin Freeman returning as Bilbo and Ian McKellen as the wizard Gandalf. The story itself is almost a truly winning formula, especially when taken from the original book by J.R.R. Tolkien. However, those heavily versed in Tolkien lore may be disappointed with the many liberties taken with the plotline. As far as the visuals go, the shots of the New Zealand landscape are breathtaking, and the costume work is also, for the most part, well done. When it comes to computer animation, though, it was almost exhausted through the course of the movie, especially on the orcish antagonist of the film. This contributes to more of a sense of cartoony novelty rather than epic adventure, which is especially demonstrated in a scene where the elf Legolas is shown standing on two dwarves' heads, careening down rough rapids, and taking down orc after orc with his bow and arrow. But despite these hitches, The Desolation of Smaug manages to continue an epic story and keep audience interest until an unexpectedly frustrating cliffhanger end. It earns 3.5 ticket stubs out of 5. A definite ticket, but don't buy the popcorn. And that's it for Ticket or Leave It. I'm Jesse Stevens. Now back to the desk.
Now with WT Sports, here's Austin Best.
Thanks, guys. Concord Women's Basketball held the Play for K basketball game for breast cancer awareness last Saturday afternoon. Close to 200 people were in attendance, most of which were showing their support for the cause. Pink Strong shirts were sold by the athletics department all week and at the ticket booth to get into Christy Cox Court. The money raised went towards breast cancer awareness at the Mary Babb Randolph Cancer Center at West Virginia University. Several cancer survivors were recognized during halftime, including Concord women's head soccer coach Stephanie Workman, who later presented a check for $5,000 to the Cancer Center. Although the Lady Lions were handed a 9-point loss to Wheeling Jesuit, the outcome fell in comparison to the real win that afternoon. Shawnee Carnett of the Concord track and field team has recently been awarded the Division II Track and Field Coaches National Athlete of the Week Award. This honor followed up on her automatic qualifying mark in the 800-meter run at the Armory Collegiate Invitational last weekend. Carnett is a former national champion, has been an All-American several times early in her career, and currently holds Concord's 800-meter record with a time of 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Carnett's record time is also significant in that it's the fastest time in Division II this year. Carnett and the rest of the Mountain Lion track and field team will compete in Virginia Tech Challenge on February the 21st in Blacksburg, Virginia. That's all for this week's sports. Back to you at the desk.
Missouri football star and NFL draft prospect Michael Sam told the world Sunday that he is gay. Sam is a defensive lineman for the University of Missouri Tigers and is coming off an All-American season. If drafted, Sam will be the first openly gay player in the NFL. The 24-year-old star said Sunday at his press conference, quote, "I am an openly proud gay man," unquote. Most NFL teams said they didn't think having an openly gay player on the team would be a problem. They are choosing to focus on his stellar play rather than his sexual preference, because Sam led the Southeastern Conference with 10.5 sacks and 18 tackles for loss this season.
Thanks for joining us on WT News. I'm Rachel Dotson.
And I'm Chad Brown. Tune in again in 2 weeks.